everyone, it's Vicky and welcome back to another Mixed Media Tuesday. Today I will be working on a two-page journal and I decided to use two colors that I don't normally go with for a background. So these are acrylic paints from the Tim Holtz collection and I'm going to apply them with a baby wipe. Now I like to use baby wipes that have as less oil as possible. So the one that I'm using here is 99% water, and because I get a lot of questions about that, and I'm just spreading out the paint without trying to make it look perfect. I blend the two colors directly on top of the page with the baby wipe, and you can see a complete mess, which is perfect because we get some visual texture at the background and at the same time we get lighter and darker areas. Now I'm using a stencil, and again with the same colors that I do have on my craft table, just going to go over it. Mainly I'm going with a darker color that I have, so this way I will get a good impression of my stencil. And notice that I don't pay attention to where exactly I'm placing the design, completely randomly, because at this stage I didn't even know what the focal points are going to be for this page. I just wanted to create something with pinks and oranges for the background. Now I am going to the next step, which is stamping. I'm using a text stamp for the background, and you can either go with a more subtle look if you use another ink color, like for example orange or pink. I decided to go with black, but I did make sure that I'm using Archival Ink, which is permanent, so no matter what I decide to do on top, it's not going to smudge or smear. From the same stamp set, I also use a stamp that gives me circles, just because I like for the visual texture on the background to have different shapes. So I'm mainly stamping where I did stamp with a text stamp previously, creating kind of clusters here and there. Now moving on to the next step, and I'm using another Tim Holtz stencil, and this is one with numbers. It's from his mini stencils. And I'm going with a paste. Use any paste that you have. I'm using volume paste because it is my favorite. It's nice and thick, dries quickly, it doesn't crack, and just because it is super thick, I can get a good impression of the stencils. So again, completely randomly, I might cover up lately what I'm doing now, but I'm sure that no matter how much I cover, you will always be able to see some of a little bit of each layer peeking through. Now I absolutely love how it looks. To finish off my background, I'm going to add some splatters. For that I'm using calligraphy ink. This is white calligraphy ink, and I'm using different brands, it really doesn't matter. This is from Winsor & Newton, I believe, and now I decide to add some black splattering as well, so I'm going to bring another one, and this is a Liquitex. Again, black calligraphy ink would do the trick, but if you don't have that, you can always just dilute acrylic paint with water. You can use watercolor. The benefit of using calligraphy ink is that it dries permanent, so if I decide to use mixed media glue on top or any other water-based medium, it's not going to smudge or smear. These all are going to stay as they are. Now moving on to the focal points, so I decided to bring in some flowers from this booklet by Marta. Absolutely love her booklets because you can easily find focal points for your pages. Now I'm using one with frosty winter flowers, and I'm just going to fuzzy cut 3 of those flowers from this page. You don't really need to be precise with fuzzy cutting. No one really knows how the flower looked in the beginning, but these are really easy shapes, so it was really quick and simple to cut out. Now I'm using my rice paper glue. Actually, you can use your mixed media glue to stick everything down, and I'm kind of creating a cluster of the 2 flowers in one page, and I do have another flower for the other page. Since I'm working on a 2-page journal for today, I wanted for my spread to have the same elements on both pages. so that it looks coherent. So you see I'm going over my elements as well with my media glue so that I seal them down, I cover them, and this way you will see that I will be able to use my big brush markers later on to add some tint and color and shadows. And I am going to need a quote for my journal. I always like to add quotes. So I brought in another booklet by Marta, and this one has a page with quotes. I'm going to use the last one here. And I absolutely love what it says. I am actually going for a winter page with flowers and a big background, which is completely out of what I would normally start with. But that's what happens when you don't have a plan, and that's what I absolutely love about art journaling. Sometimes I just go ahead and make a background that I like and take it from there, which is exactly what happened with this page. So now that was a very long phrase, which I always like to cut in smaller pieces. I'm just trying to find how it's going to look more balanced. I finally decided this is the best way to stick them down. So again, I will use my mixed media glue to stick them down. I will cover them as well. And then the next step is to bring in my white gel pen and a black marker and do my finishing touches. So here the page is pretty much ready, but doing all these finishing touches really makes it your own. So you see here it's just pieces that I pasted on top. Now by doing the drawing, the sketchy lines and the highlights is going to kind of bring everything together. I am using my black pen to outline some of the areas, only sketchy lines, not perfect lines all around and not all over the place, if you notice what I'm doing. That's the style that I like, and that's what I always do with my cutout pieces. I am also going to really sketchy draw around the stems, and then I will do the same thing and outline all the phrases. Again, I'm not staying perfect around the edge. Look that I'm adding my sketchy lines all over the place, and they are not perfect at all. Now with a white gel pen, I'm going to add some highlights here and there, and notice how my white gel pen writes beautifully. That is because I made sure that the glue that I used to paste the flowers is completely dry. If it's not, you're going to ruin your marker, you're going to ruin your gel, white gel pen. So now I'm going to do an afterthought. I thought that the page was pretty much done, but I thought why not, since we are going for a frosty look, although the background is pink, let's go ahead and do my favorite frosty border, which is something that I do with winter pages. So here you can use acrylic paint, you can use gesso. Actually, I'm using primer here, to tell you the truth, and I'm just dabbing all around to create kind of a border, which always gives that frosty look and makes the page look more finished. I think that it kind of brings the detail on the petals on the edge of the pages, so it is another detail that brings everything together. And here is another afterthought when I don't know when to stop. I decided why not, let's make those flowers pop even more. So I did grab my big brush marker, and this is by Faber-Castell. I'm able to do this technique where I smudge the ink that I applied just because I did cover and sealed down my flowers. So you see how it really pops. I could have gone with an even deeper marker for the petals that are darker and behind, but it works still. I'm just going to add a few, and I will not use any marker for the other flower, the white flower, although I could have gone with grey, for example. But I was happy with how those flowers popped on my page. And this is going to be the finishing touch. Absolutely happy with how it looks. I hope that you had fun, that you got inspired. Here are some close-up photos where you can see the details better. And just like always, down below in the description you can find links to everything I used. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.